Good morning, everyone, and welcome to TCA. My name's Christian.
Good morning, I'm Andy. Welcome.
So we have a very special edition of TCA this morning. We have an interview with Mr. Gregor Baumbusch, the CEO of the Weinig Group, that we're going to play for everybody.
Which is a huge deal. I mean, if you can imagine, as busy as we've all been during this time, imagine what the CEO of one of the largest companies in our industry, imagine what his day looks like. So we're going to hear some of those things.
We are. So we're going to play you that video here in just a couple minutes. But first, we got a couple housekeeping pieces.
Okay.
So first of all, we are live right now. So remember to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching there. All right. And we also have some swag giveaway.
Oh, what kind of stuff do we have?
So we got new hats, new Weinig hats that we just got. I was told that I shouldn't wear this, though, because I caught some flack for wearing this hat last week on TCA, so I'm not going to wear it, everybody. But if you want some Weinig swag, get tagged in this video, all right? Have somebody else tag you in the video, and we'll send you some swag.
Or if you would like to have some swag sent to someone that you know, tag them in this video.
Well,
right?
I guess
Same
that would
thing.
be easier, too, right?
Yeah.
So we got some swag. Remember to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and with that said, Andy, I think we should get to the interview.
Let's get to it. Let's get to the meat of this this meeting here.
Yep. So again, this was our interview that we did just last week with the CEO of the Weinig Group, Gregor Baumbusch.
So Weinig USA is here in the U.S. We are a wholly owned subsidiary of Michael Weinig AG, which is headquartered in Tauberbischofsheim, Germany. Today, we are incredibly excited to have a special guest with us, Mr. Gregor Baumbusch, who is our current CEO of the entire Weinig Group. So we say first, good afternoon in Germany to Mr. Gregor Baumbusch. How are you, Gregor?
I'm perfect, Andy. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you've watched our little TCA ever, we're trying to make this about the industry as a whole. We're glad that you are able to join us to talk a little bit about maybe what the industry looks like around the globe. So we appreciate it. And with that, we can just jump right into the first question. But the first one will be the easy one. Gregor, can you just tell us a little bit about, from your perspective, tell us a little bit about the Weinig Group, where we are, what we do, things like that.
Yeah, perfect. For sure, Andy, I will do so. So the Michael Weinig Group is well known worldwide for their products. We are the world market leader for the solid wood machinery, and we are a dynamic player on the panel processing side. In total, we have around about 20 subsidiaries separated in production companies and also in sales and service companies. So the majority of the production we have in Europe. So we have 5 plants in Germany, we have 1 in Luxembourg, that's also Europe. We have 1 in Austria, where we produce our panel processing machines. We have 1 production plant in China, where we produce the entry level machines. Also in the US, we have a little bit of production, and that's really great. So there we produce some automation for our equipment, because we think we need to be local, we need to be close to our customers with the solutions. So beside that, we have 12 sales and service companies around the world. That's important, because everywhere where our customers are, you can find Weinig. We are a very customer-driven organization. Our slogan is also Think Weinig. That means our customer should know us. They should think if they have any problems in production about Weinig, and therefore it's necessary that we are close to them. That's a clear philosophy of our group. We are around about 2,000 employees worldwide. And like I said before, for us, the highest priority is to be close to our customers and to develop efficient solutions together with our customers.
So, Gregor, I'm curious, being over the entire group globally, you must be a busy guy. What does one day in the life of the CEO of Weinig look like?
That's a difficult question, especially nowadays, Christian. To be honest, in my whole professional career, and that means now since more than 25 years, I cannot remember any period where I've been so often in my office and not staying out in the market and with the customers. And beside that, the days are getting longer. Mm-hmm. So the working days are getting longer and longer, at least sometimes 12 hours a day, because we have to handle this special situation. And nowadays we have two major challenges. And the one thing is to increase the efficiency, so to cut costs based on the effects on the crisis. And on the other hand, the strategic development of the company, because there will be a period also after the crisis. And our strategy must be to prepare ourselves now to come even stronger out of that situation. And that's what we are doing. So on the one hand, it's bad that I cannot travel, but on the other side, all my attention is also necessary to focus on these two main targets here.
Good targets for sure.
Yeah, for sure, totally necessary. But so you've mentioned that that you're not traveling. A lot of us have struggled with that. We've opened up inside the U.S. where we can travel inside the U.S. I think maybe there's some travel. I don't know enough about what's going on in Europe, but I know that we can't travel from the U.S. to Europe. But our industry as a whole, the wood industry, is a very social industry. Being there, the relationships are incredibly important. And now in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic and how with the limitations in travel, tell us a little bit about what are some of the things that that Weinig is doing to stay in touch with the customers to continue to improve or to grow those relationships.
Yeah, Eddie. So the world changed totally for us beginning middle of March this year, when the lockdowns came and when the virus forced the governments to start activities to protect the people. And therefore, also for us and our customers, everything changed. We couldn't travel. We couldn't go out, talk to them face to face. And like you mentioned before, this is extremely important in our industry. If you would have asked me 1 year before, I would have said one of the key differences from our industry, the woodworking industry, for example, to the automotive industry, is that it's much more personal. You need to be at the customer. You have to discuss with the customer. Because the situation, the solutions that we provide are born by the ideas of the customers. It's a lot of individual business, and that was a hard challenge for us. So what we did, we tried to connect online in a digital way to our customers. We use a good CRM system, so we know who our customers are. We have all the data, and the question now was, how do we stay in contact with our customers? And there, to be honest, also the US was really a pioneer in developing that new relationship with our customers. All the videos you do, the online trainings, that was really innovative. And we try to do the best practice model. So if we have something in our group that functions quite well, we try to spread it over the whole group. That's also why I'm quite proud to be part of that program and of that development now also here in the US. So what we try to do, we are doing online trainings. We have video conferences with our customers. And we do all these things, online trainings, because of the customers, they also cannot travel. They cannot go to shows
Right.
You know, there's a big demand of information in the market. And I think in the way how we do that, that's quite interesting, refreshing. And there was a funny situation in the US because we challenge our sales organization, like you know, on the number of the inquiries that we generate out of the market. And you were the first ones that were able to increase the number of inquiries even to a higher level than in the period before with the measures that you started. So you can see it definitely works. We can be in contact with our customers. It's challenging, but for sure that's the right way, because that's not only our problem, that's the problem of the whole industry. No one can travel, and everyone is looking for information. Who can help me? What can we do? So this is a big challenge, and I think that's exactly the right thing we are doing. Interviews, online trainings, and also handing over information about our products, about our systems, about how we feel also with our customers.
Nice.
You know, I couldn't agree more. I think what you said about having a huge demand for information is more true now than it's ever been. I really believe that that shops, production floors out there are hungry for specific information about how they can better their production.
Yeah.
So I was able to travel to the Weinig factory before the pandemic a couple years ago, and tour the actual factory where we build Weinig machinery there in Taberbischofsheim, and it was amazing, I have to say. But Gregor, I have to only imagine that things have changed a little bit in the last 6 months as far as our manufacturing shop floor. What does it look like there in the light of the pandemic?
Yeah, Christian, it's still amazing to
I'm sure it is.
Not that much changed here, but what we do, we have to protect our employees. That's really important. So we started immediately with a Corona task force to protect our staff. So we implemented shift work to support the social distancing, so that not so many people are at the same time on the shop floor. We started with home office activities with all our R&D and designers, and also with the sales staff. So we did not lock down the whole facility here in Taberbischofsheim, and also not in the rest of the green world, I would say. The production plant in Austria was totally locked down because of the situation for nearly 6 weeks. But also that goes along with the order income situation, because there was a high uncertainty also in the market, and the customers are more or less a little bit waiting. So we are producing, but not with the same efficiency like before, but that fits to the order income situation and to the general situation in the market. So we can deliver. Delivering was not the issue. A bigger issue was to ship the machines out and to assemble the machines on the customer side, because of the restrictions. For example, we have huge projects, project business, for example, in Austria, and we couldn't send anyone there to assemble our line for 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the problem. The production, I would say, is more or less secured. The big issue was to assemble the lines, and beside that, for sure, to protect our staff. That is important. And I always say there is a nice slogan of Charles Darwin, and that tells us exactly normally what to do, because it's not the strongest of the species that survives, it's not the most intelligent one that survives, it's the one that is most adaptable to changes. No, now we have a lot of changes in the world and the market, and it's up to us to adapt our organization to the new our organization to the new situation of the market. And that's exactly what we are doing. We are there for our customers. That's our highest priority, but always looking that we protect our employees.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, and having to, nothing is normal, and the only thing that's normal is that we're constantly changing, and you know, this is an interesting time because it is more of a global event, and it's not something that's local. And you know, along those lines, you know, speaking, we know a lot about what's going on. We study what's going on in the U.S., but we don't get as much information about our industry, the wood industry in Europe. And where do you how do you feel that the industry is currently managing the situation? You know, or is the wood industry growing in 2020? Is it flat in 2020? Are there certain areas of the industry that are doing better than others? And you know, what are we thinking about? What will the European wood industry be doing in 2021? You know, these are different times, and you know, tell us what you see in that crystal ball, Greg.
And if you could give me a hint how the situation will be in 21, that would be highly appreciated. But I can tell you where we are and where we think it will develop. But that really depends on how also the virus develops. Will we have a second lockdown or not? There are many different scenarios in the market. And I'm a little bit positive after the last 2 months, because in July and August we had a really good order income. We recovered a little bit, but in general the industry in Europe is struggling, and we know that because we have the German Machine Tool Association, the VDMA, and we observe really in detail what is going on in the market. And there are for sure industries that are hit more from the crisis and some that are hit left. And to be honest, the woodworking industry was hit quite hard. So we know that because we measure there the number of the volume of the order income and the decrease based on the COVID virus. And there are industries like, for example, agricultural, engineering, elevators, and so on. They even had a small plus under the corona crisis. But then also we have industry like the woodworking industry, and we have a decrease in order income of nearly 35%.
Wow. Okay.
Here in Europe in the industry. But it's a little bit different because it varies a lot from between the primary and the secondary industry. That means, for example, in the processing industry, later on, the decrease is not as bad as in the primary industry, where, for example, you produce the raw panels. You know, they had a huge decrease. Or, for example, my feeling is that in the solid wood industry is not as bad as maybe in the panel processing industry. But at least we think regarding order income and regarding turnover, we will lose more or less 1 quarter. That means 25% in order income and in turnover. That is the worst case scenario, but everyone believes that that's a realistic scenario here for Europe. And now we will see how we can recover. You know, we had a good July, a good August. Now let's see how September, October, November will be. Now all the people are coming back from the holidays, and they stay in countries where the infection rate is higher. So no one knows exactly what is going on. But if you would like to know what will happen, we focus a lot there on China, because that was the first spot where the virus appeared. And in China, meanwhile, I would say they're more or less back on track, and that gives me also a little bit hope. And what means a little bit gives me hope, because there for months we nearly had zero order income, and meanwhile we are really reaching again budget levels. What we expect is, but now that, for example, Latin America will definitely decrease. We have to see what happens in the United States with the infection rate that you show. So, and these are two of our most important markets. Mm-hmm. So Europe at the moment is more or less stable, I would say. So that's the situation there. So we hope that from now on we are on the way to recover, but it will definitely have an effect. I also think that it will have an effect on 21, because now everyone in the industry is looking what is going on, you know, how is the situation, and there is a lot of support from the governmental side also, but when that ends, and if then the companies have to look for the pure profitability, I'm quite sure this will have an additional effect. So we plan slightly positive, I would say. In any case, more positive than today, but I'm not sure whether we will be on the same figures like 19 in 21. So we plan a little bit below that.
That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. There's so many variables right now. I know that in the U.S., like you talked about, is there going to be a second wave? Is there going to be a second lockdown? Not to mention, we have an election coming up. I mean, there's all kinds of variables at play right now. And it'll be quite interesting to see what the next 6 months brings. A lot of that is outside of our control, but with that said, we continue to develop. So, Gregor, what are you most excited about as far as technological developments in the Weinig Group? What can you share with everybody today as far as what gets you excited when you think about developments in this company?
In general, it's very exciting to talk about new developments anyway, and we couldn't show our newest developments this year on the trade shows. That's right. That's a big problem. You know, we have a lot of new products, but we can't really show it. We can do it online, but it's not like the people can go there, touch it, have it on the shop floor. But with the new strategy that we did via Weinig, you know, that we are much more focused on our customers and that we are much more focused on the local markets. So we are developing at the moment really machines dedicated to certain markets to fit better to the requirements of the local markets, like already explained. And I'm very excited, for example, about the new Profimat that we produce here in Tower Bischofsheim, because one of the discussions I always had on the customer side was that customers told me, Mr. Baumbusch, you have a nice equipment, you have nice lines, you have nice systems, but I would like to have an entry-level machine again from Weinig. And with this machine, I think we are back in the entry-level market, because we would like to have that our customers grow with our products. Right. That's important. On the other hand, for sure, construction wood is one of the main things we are focusing on. So there, especially the CLT production, because we are convinced that will be a trend in the construction industry for the next years, the main trend. So we are developing here new systems. We already were able to sold some turnkey lines. That's important. And the next thing is software, because software and automation, because later on a machine is only a piece of equipment. but the efficiency that we create for the customer is how do we handle the material inside his plant, and what tools do we offer him to do that in the most efficient way, and to generate an advantage for his company compared to the market. So for me, it's mechanization that we will come up with, new solutions, it's software, and it's projects, and also standard machines. So we have a firework, I would say, of new machines, and now we are waiting for the next show that we can really show it in the right way to our customers, because one machine alone very often doesn't make the difference. But if you combine it, that makes the difference. But you showed already a lot of the newest equipment last week on that beautiful tour that you did in our showroom. So what else do you want me to tell you?
Well, for sure there's been a firework of development in the group, and there is a lot to be excited about, that's for sure. From the Profit Mat all the way to the new software business that's getting developed. Yeah. The digital business aspect of it even is phenomenal. Well, Gregor, thank you so much for taking the time today to talk to us. We really appreciate it, and we know our audience has really appreciated your insight and input about the Weinig Group.
Yeah, Christian and Andy, it was a pleasure to have you. Haven't seen you for a while, face to face. So I really appreciated that, and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Andy. So there you go.
That was good. That was good. You know, it's obviously that Gregor's had a lot of practice. He's very professional, very comfortable,
and very insightful. I have to say, very insightful. We really appreciated him taking the time to share his input and his insight in the industry and about the entire Weinig Group. A lot of times, you know, we know exactly what's going on. Sometimes exactly.
I wouldn't say
what's going on here in the U.S.
We have really good, educated guesses
about what's
happening here in the U.S.
What's happening here, but man, when it goes global, it's hard to keep up sometimes, and it's great to have a leader like Gregor.
Yeah, somebody that has their eyes on really
on everything
around the world that's going on. So
that's right.
Very good, yeah.
So for everyone watching, we hope that you enjoyed that you got something out of that interview. And we have just a couple notes before we wrap up TCA.
Right.
Yeah, so first of all, Andy, what can folks expect going forward with TCA?
Well, Christian, funny you should ask. We're going to take, now that some travel restrictions are being lifted and we've gotten a little better, the Retool Tour was a great time for us to see how we could go live and be mobile. We're going to start taking the TCA on the road.
Yeah, we are. We're going to visit customer locations and do live TCA sessions from all across the United States.
Right. I mean, this was all about, when we started this, we didn't really know what to think. Originally, we were just going to tell you what videos we were going to do during the week. But now, you know, we want to make this more relevant. We want to make this beneficial to you guys and more valuable to you guys. So we're going to go to meet with customers and see what they're doing to improve their production during this unusual year of COVID.
That's right. So if you're a production shop out there and you're watching and you'd like to have us for TCA and you got a cool store, you got a cool production shop, you got some cool products, let us know and we'll look at coming and doing TCA right there at your place.
Christian's gotten much better at packing all this stuff into his carry-on bag, and
tell you what, it's yeah. Well, we take it on the road, so we take it on the road. All right, so Andy, a couple other things. Next is last week we discussed how we have all of this Retool Tour content.
Yes,
we were organizing. It is now organized into playlists on Facebook and YouTube.
And YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, so 20 plus hours of video content are on YouTube and Facebook.
Amazing.
It is.
That in a week we got 20 hours of content.
20 hours of content. We don't expect anyone to just sit down and watch all of that. That's why we broke it up into compartmentalized videos. of each actual machine and demonstration that we did.
Yeah, I was looking back, and in the last 6 months when we've been doing a lot of these live videos, we have 105 videos that we've actually added to our library.
That's right. So check out the video library on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. They all have descriptions and titles on it, so if you're looking for something specific, you should be able to find it in those spots. Okay, last but not least, Next Level.
Next Level.
Yep. So
2020.
Yeah, Next Level 2020. That's happening October
15th and 16th.
15th and 16th. That's Thursday, Friday here at Mooresville. So right behind us. We'll have Next Level right here in-house.
We're getting ready right now. You've been hearing some of the noise maybe going on behind us. They are in the thick of it.
Yep. So we will be hosting folks in person. Okay.
Yes.
Registration is at weinigholzer.com. Okay. So go to weinigholzer.com and you will find a link to register for Next Level. We will also be live streaming Next Level because that's what we do.
That's what we got better. So we will Christian, tell us, will we be able to register for virtual as well as? Okay.
So if you want to let us know that you'll be watching virtually, you can register weinigholzer.com to watch us virtually. It will be on Facebook and YouTube, just like what we did for Retool Tour. Yeah.
If you're going to be here in person, go back. There's a video that tells you what to expect as you're coming in the building. Things are pretty much the content. What you should expect is the same. Some things have moved around. The scanner is a little different place.
Yeah, as far as health protocol concerned.
Yeah.
So a couple things about Next Level I just want to let everybody know about is that we would love to see you guys in person. We really would. Now, if you're busy or you don't feel comfortable traveling, totally get it. Watch it online. That's totally fine. But we will be having this entire showroom open, and while we'll be live streaming some demos, if you're here in person, you can be interacting with our technicians, with our product experts, looking at whatever machine you want on the floor.
It certainly is next level of information that you can get if you're here in person. Somewhere in between, though, if you can't make it, you do want a little more information, we can arrange a private virtual demonstration where it's not going to be on YouTube. You don't have to worry about anyone seeing or hearing what you're asking about, but we will have a private virtual demonstration. We can use Zoom to do that, and you can talk directly with the technicians.
So we do that all the time, and y'all are welcome to reach out to us. If you want to request a private demo on a machine, you can also do so at weinigholzer.com. So check that out. For information about Next Level registration, or if you want to request a private demo.
There's a lot going on.
It's going
to be a busy fall.
All right, so that's a wrap from us. We appreciate everybody watching. Stay positive, stay healthy out there, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.